Good morning. React to lay value judgment and critical issues that demand sound analysis. After going through this module, you are expected to react on critical issues brought up in the material viewed, agree or disagree with the statement and observations made, apply the TQLR approach to listen attentively on social issues, compare arguments presented in a panel discussion, and discuss an issue by following the procedure of panel discussion. Actions and reactions. Directions. Using emotions, give your reaction to the actions conveyed in the picture presented. What is your reactions in this picture? What can you say about this picture? How about this one? What can you say about the three characters in this picture? What can you say about this picture? What is your judgment? According to John chapter 7 verse 24, do not judge by appearances, but judge with right judgment. React to lay value judgment on critical issues that demand sound analysis. Value judgment, judgment of the rightness or wrongness of something or someone, or of the usefulness of something or someone, based on a comparison or other relativity. Refers to a judgment based upon a particular set of values or on a particular value system. Claim about something morals, practical, or aesthetic worth, valued judgments to not simply describe the world, they prescribe the certain attitudes or behavior towards the world. When you say things like the following, you are usually making certain kind of value judgment. That's good. That's bad. That's wonderful. That's a bummer. That's not right. That's sick. That's obligatory. That's admirable. That's very shameful. That's despicable. That shouldn't be. That's okay. Keynotes. We often say that the value judgments are normative, which means they evaluate things with respect to certain standards or norms. One way to get a quick handle on the nature of value judgments is to see that any judgment or statements of fact can easily be converted into a value judgment by introducing a value term. In the table below, the statements on the left are labeled descriptive. The corresponding value judgment on the right are labeled prescriptive. Descriptive: the U.S. invaded Iraq. Jeremy is a student. Sally is frightened. The doctor accidentally killed the patient. Our teacher takes forever to return homework. Jose is so in love with Brittany. I am ashamed of myself. Picasso was 20th century painter. Those pants are tight on you. It's hard to find a job. Prescriptive: the US shouldn't have invaded Iraq. Jeremy is an excellent student. It's okay for Sally to be frightened. The doctor should not be blamed for accidentally killing the patient. It is not fair for our teacher to take forever to return the homework. It's wonderful that Jose is so in love with Brittany. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Picasso was one of the greatest painters in the 20th century. Those pants are way too tight on you. You haven't tried hard enough to find a job. Keynotes. Practice. Think before you click concept. Listen to lay value judgment on critical issues that call for prompt actions. Using the TQLR approach in listening to lay value judgment on critical issues that call for prompt actions, tune in. To tune in is to prepare yourself to listen. This refers to your attentiveness or receptiveness to the listening material. Question. Question. While focusing on the topic, ask yourself some questions that will generate ideas and details. The title of the selection gives clues on what it will deal with. Write down your questions. Listen. As you listen, keep in mind useful information for later reference. This information may be old or new, agreeable or disagreeable to you. Respond. Respond. Recall what you have listened to. Think how the ideas can be applied to the world around you. Discuss critical issues in a panel discussion. What is panel discussion? A panel discussion is designed to provide an opportunity for a group to hear several people knowledgeable about a specific issue or topic, present information, and discuss personal views. It may help the audience further clarify and evaluate their positions regarding specific issues or topics being discussed and increase their understanding of the positions of others. Kinds of panel discussion. Public panel discussion, used to provide factual information regarding current problems, determine social values. Educational panel discussion, used in educational institutions to provide factual and conceptual knowledge and clarification of certain theories and principles. Members in panel discussion, instructor, moderator, panelists, and audience. The instructor plans how, where, and when panel discussion will be organized. Moderator keeps the discussion on the theme and encourages interaction among members, summarizes and highlights the points. Panelists. Members who sit in a semicircle shape in front of the audience and must have the mastery of the subject. Audience allowed to put questions and seek clarification. What are the advantages of a panel discussion? It facilitates clarification on knotty issues. It highlights the multidimensionality of the issue under discussion. It helps to develop critical thinking in both panelists and the audience. It fosters logical thinking. It develops presentation skills. It teaches students to think of the issue under consideration and ask relevant questions. For your evaluation, get your notes and answer the following. Quarter 4, Module Number 1. Activity 1. Directions. Determine whether the statement is true or false. Write the letter T if the statement is true and F if it is false. For number 1, people should not wear masks when exercising, as masks may reduce the ability to breathe comfortably. The important preventive measures during exercise is to maintain physical distance of at least 1 meter from others. Number 2, spraying disinfectant into your body will protect you against COVID-19. Number 3, the COVID-19 does not transmit through water while swimming. However, the virus spreads between people when someone has close contact with an infected person. Number 4, adding pepper to your soup or other meals prevents or cures COVID-19. Number 5, The coronavirus disease, COVID-19, is caused by a virus, not by bacteria. Activity 2. Directions. Underline the claim in the following passages, then circle the statement that shows the reason or evidence for the claim. Number 1. People has been less physically active since pandemic. Experts found out that unsurprisingly that almost everyone's exercise habits changed when the pandemic started. Instead of walking and biking in the park, they choose to stay at home for its safe lives and mitigate the spread of virus. As of 2018, the Universal Healthcare Scheme protected an estimated 98% of the Philippines' population. This came very close to achieving the target of universal healthcare coverage. Insurance is more important than ever in the light of the COVID-19 pandemic and recent calamities in the Philippines. Quarter 4, Module Number 2. Activity Activity 1. Directions. Write tick if the statement is guideline for conducting a panel discussion and talk if it is not. Write your answer in your activity notebook. Number 1. Indicate to panelists the objectives of panel discussion is designed to promote and allow time for panel members to prepare for the discussion. Number 2. Panel discussion teaches students to think of the issues under consideration and ask relevant questions. Number 3. Identify or help participants identify an issue or topic that involves an important conflict in values and or interests. Go into the panel discussion with a specific goal in mind. Number 5. It fosters logical thinking. Activity 2. Direction. Answer the following questions comprehensively. What is a panel discussion? Number 2. Who takes part in a panel discussion? Number 3. What are the advantages of a panel discussion? Here are the answers. For quarter 4, module number 1. True or false? Directions. Underline the claim in the following passages, then circle the statement that shows the reason or evidence for the claim. People has been less physically active since pandemic. Experts found out that unsurprisingly that almost everyone's exercise habits changed when the pandemic started. You have to underline those sentences and encircle these sentences. Instead of walking and biking in the park, they chose to stay at home for its safe lives and mitigate the spread of virus. For number two, as of 2018, the Universal Healthcare Scheme protected an estimated 98% of the Philippines population. This scheme, very close to achieving the target of universal healthcare coverage, should be underlined, and the sentences that should be encircled are: insurance is more important than ever in the light of COVID-19 pandemic and recent calamities in the Philippines. For quarter 4, module number 2. For activity 1, tick or talk. Here are the answers. For number 1, tick. For number 2, tick. For number 3, tick. Number 4, talk. And number 5, tick. Who got them all? For activity 2, direction. Answer the following questions comprehensively. Number 1, For number 1, what is a panel discussion? A panel discussion is designed to provide an opportunity for a group to hear several people knowledgeable about a specific issue or topic, present information, and discuss personal views. For each answer, 5 points. For number 2, who takes part in a panel discussion? Instructor, moderator, panelists, and audience. For a perfect score, give 5 points. For number 3, what are the advantages of a panel discussion? In here, 1 point in each answer. Number 1, it facilitates clarification on knotty issues. It highlights the multidimensionality of the issue under discussion. It helps to develop critical thinking in both panelists and the audience. Number 4, it fosters logical thinking. Number 5, it develops presentation skills. Number 6, it teaches students to think of the issues under consideration and ask relevant questions. To end my discussion, allow me to read the following according to Isaac Newton. To every action, there is always opposed an equal reaction. Thank you so much and good day.